I'm Miguel Ramos. I'm a product manager working at Google, working in Firebase. With me, we had today as well Andrew.
Yep. Hey everyone, I'm Andrew, product manager at Firebase as well at Google.
Yeah, and today we are going to talk about generative AI and how you can add generative AI to your apps. So, Andrew, it's all you talk.
All right, let's go. So I'm sure many of you have already spent a lot of time evaluating, thinking about how you can add Gen AI to your apps to provide users with great experiences. And today we're going to talk just about that. Um, Gen AI allows you to create innovative new experiences for your users by simply prompting and using different models that allow you to create images, audio, all these types of things. So in the past, you needed teams full of engineers and specialists to be able to deploy different types of experiences driven by AI. Now, we have great models that are really easy for you to use to be able to do the same things with much smaller teams. So let's talk about this a little bit. When we're talking about using Gen AI to create new experiences, in the most simple way, you can use different type of modes of input: text, image, audio, video. We'll take that using our different Gemini models that we have at Google and other AI models as well. And then we're able to output higher. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you. And then we're able to output different types of basically outputs for you, whether it's text, JSON, images, videos. So with Gemini, what's very interesting and allows you to do even more things is that we have really large context windows. So Gemini Flash, for example, has a 1 million token context window. What that actually means is that you can throw a lot of input to it, throw a lot of input at it. For example, 1 hour up to 1 hour of video, 11 hours of audio, and that context that it'll use will allow it to give better responses, better outputs that are more tailored to your users and whatever type of experience you're trying to provide to them.
Andrew, do you know how much that does it mean? For instance, all this text is about the three books of Lord of the Rings plus The Hobbit. The 11 hours of audio is all the discography of the Beatles. Um, 1 hour is one episode of Last of Us, for instance.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, a ton of context that you can throw at it in it with the API call. It'll process it and do whatever you need it to do with it. Okay, so let's jump ahead a little bit. So at Google, we also have these Imagine models as well. These are the image generation. We have two styles of it. We have Imagine 3, which is in GA right now, that you can use in your production applications. And then we also have Imagine 4, a newer model that's in preview. Both of these models have different flavors of things or different flavors of models within them that you can use to help balance the trade-off between speed, accuracy, fidelity. So, just the general generate models have that balance kind of baked in by default. Or, if you want something that's a lot faster, you can use the ultra generate, or, you can use ultra generate to have more detailed, high fidelity type images, and then the fast generate will be there if you want something that's quicker, a little cheaper, and you don't need to have the same level of, let's say, detail or accuracy. Imagine 3 also has that capability model right there. And what that allows you to do, for example, is editing images. So you can upload an image and say, hey, I want you to change this image in a certain way. And it'll do it much better than the other models that are available right now. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right. So we have these models. How do you access the models? At Google, we have two different APIs that you can use to access them. We have the Gemini Developer API and then the Vertex AI Gemini API. So the difference between the two is that the Gemini API, the developer API, is very good if you just want to quickly prototype, test things out. You can use AI Studio as a front end to do that. You can go with no cost. You don't need to have a credit card, and you're basically off to the races. You can test all these models that I just showed you before whether it's Gemini, Imagine, VO, all the other ones as well. Once you're ready to actually go to production, all you got to do is, upgrade your billing accounts, and then you can go on to pay as you go and just pay for the API as you consume it. So that's the Gemini Developer API happy path. Then there are some of you who are enterprise developers who need, have different levels of, let's say, regulatory requirements that you may need to reach to actually launch your applications. So that's where the Vertex AI Gemini API is really good. In that one, you have control over your inference location. And it's really, again, geared towards folks who may already be using Google Cloud, or again, you're in a highly regulated environment and you need a little more control about how and where you run these models for your users. All right. Great. So awesome. Now I think now we understand there's two different APIs that you can use. You choose the one that's best for you based on what you're trying to build. But it's still not that trivial, right? If you're a developer, let's say a Flutter developer, you're used to using Dart and Flutter to build your apps. You may not have expertise in backend services, right? Traditionally, what you'd have is a backend team that'll go write something in, a server code in Python, Go, Node, whatever it may be, and that would manage the actual interface with these developer APIs. So, there already are solutions out there to do this, but they don't necessarily work for everyone, right? It requires you to have extra knowledge and understanding and possibly additional engineers who know how to manage server infrastructure, deploy it, monitor it. It's a lot. It can take a lot of effort. So that's why at Firebase, we built Firebase AI Logic, right? At Firebase, we already have a ton of services available to you that are serverless, right? We have services that are geared towards Flutter developers like you who can very easily write full scale end-to-end applications that include back-end services without needing to write one bit of server-side code. So we're taking that same concept and we're basically launching it here with AI Logic and getting access to these Gemini models. So we have a ton of client-side SDKs available that are in GA today. Kotlin, Swift, Flutter, of course. We have the Unity SDK, which is in preview right now. And I'm going to talk about how easy it is to get going with this and make this work. But again, the oversimplified description or explanation of what this is and what it can do for you is it's a very easy way for you to get started accessing Gemini models and in your client-side code immediately without needing to deploy server-side code or manage that yourself. Okay, so let's look at how easy it is. In as simple as 3 lines, you can get working and get started with Gemini. First line is just a simple instantiation of the Gemini model. In this case, we're choosing Gemini 2.5 Flash. So, we set it up there. The second line, you're setting up your prompt. So you just say, hey, generate the content. I want you to do this for me, Gemini. And then the third one is now just taking the output from Gemini, parsing it so that you can, integrate it into your application however you see fit based on the experience you're trying to give to your users. So this is like real code right here, real working code. It's really this simple. You don't need to be an expert. And what's beautiful about this is, this is Flutter, right? This is Flutter code. So you're a Flutter developer. I don't need to go learn Python. I don't need to learn Go. I can do this all as a Flutter developer natively. So yeah, like I said, Firebase AI Logic, it is a very easy way to add Gen AI to your apps in production. We're at GA right now. So, you have all the support you need to get going, prototype, and then launch and scale out. All right.
Thank you, Andrew. So now it's time just to show the code, real code working. As Andrew showed you before, the code snippet is really real code. You can put it there, it's working. Let me show you an application, Flutter application using Firebase AI logic. Let me move into my app. There we are. So this is my Flutter app because I'm a very good developer. I already have my MVVM pattern. I apply out here. I have something called a service, a Gemini service. And Gemini service, I wrote all the code to connect to Firebase AI logic and do all this kind of different scenario. But before going to the code, let me show you how it look like the app, so you have this in mind, and it's going to be very easy to know exactly how each experience was created. Let me minimize this. All right, this is my mobile. This is the first app I want to show you. This is my Fireflat mobile application. It's a fictitious company for just handle my mobile plan. I'm logging into that. Just I'm going to the one server, just connecting with that, getting all the information about my user. It's going to be show up right away at some point. The net connection is not very good, so that's the reason goes so slow. It's loading, it's loading. Come on. Go very slow. Too much slow. In normal circumstances, 3 seconds is there. Now it takes forever. Woo. Here we are. Finally, we have the app here. This is my Flutter app. I say it's a telephone company that created this app for me. The idea is how we can enhance this application to make more attractive for the users, improve the loyalty of our user, and also coming up with ideas of upselling to other customers. There are several scenarios here that I'm applying generative AI. The first one is this over there. For some reason, it says we are in Philadelphia. Actually, we are in New York, but it's okay. I'm generating some random facts about what is happening here in this time. Let me click again. Is now the generative AI generating another fact that happened here. Let me go down. While going down, you will see several things. The first one, we are asking to the model, hey, give recommendation to this user. I know where the user it is. The user is in New York, in Philadelphia, in this scenario. And also, this is the data plan that the user already have. I go click here. He's in the product plan. This is the data usage. I already have all this information. And based on the data usage, where the user it is, can you recommend things that the user can have interest in to buy or to apply or to change? That's the 3 recommendations that we are generating of in here. So when I click in the one recommendation, going in some kind of chat experience, we're trying to explain why this is a good recommendation for you. Right now, it's just going to the model, asking about why this recommendation is good, and going back with all the data and why you should be applied that. There are different things that we can do with this chat. We can ask, but also we implemented something like voice. So I go here. I'm going just to click this button. Say, hey, I'm going to be in Barcelona for 3 weeks. I'm going to explain. I'm going to spend a lot of network data. What kind of plan do you recommend to me? So the models are pretty good in the intent of the user. They understand basically what you want to say. And based on that, I'm sending my speech to the model, and the model is going just to process my speech and trying just to create an answer for that. There we are. This is what I say. It's translating, it's transcripting what I'm saying, and right now it's generating exactly one answer for that. So this is several kind of experiences that we can build easily with generative AI. how Andrew showed you before, implementing this is pretty straightforward. Just one more thing I want to do with this app before jumping to the code is it's already just recommending to me to change my plan. I'm going to change my plan. I'm going to say that, hey, uh, change the plan to Leia. Leia. The model is not always able just to text and respond the answer. It's also able just to change and making action for you. This is something that we call function calling. The model is able just to get tools, and because they have these tools, is able just to request to make this change in the plan. You say that, hey, I already changed the plan. Let me go back, double check everything is working, and expect take a look. And now I have infinity gigabytes, unlimited plan, and you will see it change to Leia. So the point is, how complicated it was to build that? It was very straightforward. So this is my code going to this class. And the first lines of code, for instance, for this uh, generating these facts is about generate the model. In generating the model, I'm getting this 2.5 flash, and because I want to handle the information and show up in my app, I'm using a JSON format. So yeah, take a look here. This is my prompt. Basically, I'm telling to the model, hey, this is the thing that I want. Please follow this JSON format, and that's it. So this is the first line of code. The second line of code is generate the content. I get the model, generate the content. And once that I get the content, which is here, I'm representing and painting the content in my UI. So 3 lines of code for just generate the thoughts that happens at the beginning of the app. Second scenario. The second scenario is exactly the same things, but with a little more ingredients. Is I have my generative model, I'm using Flash, I'm getting a JSON. The only thing right now I'm changing is I want to use some system instruction. System instruction is telling to the model how he should behave before generating the answer. So I'll go here to the recommendation systems. This is my system instruction. It's a little details, and also I have my JSON format. I'm getting the model, then I generate the content, and once I generate the content, I have the response. Again, 3 lines of code for generate this kind of recommendations. The last one is the chat experience. The chat experience looks like more complicated, but it's not. It's again 3 lines of code. Let me go here, first lines of code, generate the model. I'm using the Flash. I have my system instruction. But in addition to the system instruction, I already have the tool. Remember, I can change the plan. So this is the tool that I'm putting inside of the model. I'm telling the model, hey, you have the tool for changing the model, for changing the plan. When the user is asking changing the plan, making a request to me to change the plan. This is the tool. First lines of code. Second lines of code, instead of generate content, is a chat experience. So we have something different. It's a start chat. Because the model is stateless, means that it doesn't remember anything. We have an API that remembers all the history. So basically, we are doing all this work for you. So every time that you are chatting with the model, we get all the history and sending the history back and forward to the model. This is what it's doing underneath start chat. So I start chat, the third line of code is send the message. I send in the message to the model and get the response. Again, we are able just to build all this experience without backend directly from the Flutter application from in my Dart code with 3 lines of code each one. Thinking about that, we did a lot with 4 concepts. The first concept is about the prompts. The second concept is about system instruction. The third concept is about JSON output. And the other one is about function call. With 4 concepts, able just to do all these experiences. There is something new that I really want to show you. There is a new experiences in Gemini called conversational AI. It's called the Live API. And this is pretty cool. Basically, instead of have the model just getting a response, getting a request, getting the response, the Live API is opening and streaming, a bidirectional streaming between the model and the client. Basically, the model is sending a string of information back to the client, and the client is getting another streaming of information to the model. To do that, you need to implement some web sockets, and also you need to implement by yourself server client architecture, because this is so complicated and it takes a lot of work and effort. You have to keep alive the streaming of the streaming of the information. You have to handle the audio. You have to keep the connection alive. We do all this work for you. We simplify everything. Basically, the thing that we are doing is, as simple as you see before, 3-4 lines of code, you are going to be able to create the experiences that I'm going to show you right now. So let me go into the demo. Let me close this app. I'm going to open this app. Oh, this is not the app. It should be a different app over there. Okay, what is my Live API? This one. This is a very simple app. I'm telling to the model, hey, help me just to select a color, to choose a color. For instance, I'm going to click this button. I'm going to start a connection. Hey, can you change the background color to yellow?
Okay, I've changed the background color to yellow.
It's not changing the background color to yellow. Why? You are not changing the background color.
Okay, I've changed the background color.
No, you are not.
Okay, I've changed the background color.
Let me start over because the noise maybe is it's making it a little harder. Let's start over. Hello there.
Hi there, I am here to show you colors. What color would you like to see?
I would like to see the color orange.
Okay, here is orange.
Okay, can you change the
You
orange?
got it. Is there another color you'd like to see?
Yeah, I would like to see the green.
Okay, displaying green.
What about the...
Perfect. Is there anything else I can do?
Yeah, I want to see the color of sadness.
Okay, for sadness, I'm showing you a muted gray.
Why did you choose this
You got
color?
it. Anything else you want to see?
Yeah, why did you choose this color?
All right. Do you want to try another color or theme?
No, I'm asking you why did you choose this
Great.
color?
I picked this color to reflect excitement. Would you like to see it?
Yes.
Okay, here is the color of excitement. Is there anything else I can show you?
No, that's all.
I am always happy to help.
This is a demo. Noise is not helping too much. So this is the demo. The noise is not helping too much. It's a little complicated, but you get it, right? I was able just to create a communication, bidirectional communication to the model, talking to the model, asking things. It's able just to change the color, but also understand more complicated requests like what is the color of happiness, what is the color of sadness, all this stuff, right? So how hard was to build this experience? Not too much. Let me go back to my source code. I'm going to switch to this project. The first thing I was doing is, again, getting the instance of the model. In this case, I'm using the Gemini 2.0 Flash Live Preview, which is the model for this conversational AI. And I'm using a different instance. In this case, it's a live generative model. The second thing is about, I want to connect with the model in this streaming experience. So I have a method for connect. I want to close the connect when I press the button to close. So I have another method for that. And then I want to send all this information to the method. So I have, to the model, I have this method about send media stream. I have another one for text. And I want to continue receiving the message from the model. So I have a session receive, which basically I have an endless loop where I'm trying to get what is the message. If the message is about audio, I play the audio. If the message is about changing the color, that means executing a function call, I'm executing this function call. This is the handle where I'm doing these things. So as you see, it was like a 3-4 method I need to use inside of my Flutter app for creating this kind of live conversational APIs. Oops. All right, let's go back to the production readiness.
All right, back in action. Okay. Before I do this, I just want to riff a little bit on what Miguel just shared to really emphasize what you can do with this type of stuff. I think most of us here really hate calling our banks, telco providers, whoever it may be, to get help or support with something, right? And what Miguel just showed is that you can take these building blocks that we provide and these simplifications and build really great experiences where imagine now as an end user, I'm able to call, get direct support, and have someone or have the AI solve the problem for me, give me all the information I need, right? He built this experience using the out of the box Gemini models, no special fine tuning, nothing like that, just adding additional context through different modes of input, and then taking that, getting structured outputs in JSON, using function calling to actually take action on the behalf of the user. So I just want to take a moment to really emphasize like what we're able to do here with the out-of-the-box models and the simplifications that we provide on top of it in Firebase, and then to help you perhaps think about the products that you work on, your users, how can you use these same building blocks to do the same thing and provide different types of transformational experiences? Doesn't need to be chatbots or support. It can be other, more fun things too. Um, but let's move on to this. So you've built the thing, right? You get it working, and now you have AI logic, the client-side SDK integrated into your Flutter app, and you've got really great features out there, and you've launched it out into production. Something that you need to do as well is make sure that it's secure, right? These APIs, you don't want people, spoofing one of your client-side users or taking their credentials and then throwing it in a server somewhere, or just running a loop and then taking advantage of all the compute or the Gemini, I guess, model access. So what we have are very simple integrations with AppCheck, which allows you to basically block illegitimate requests, right? What we do is we confirm and validate that it's a real user that's actually instantiating the API from your application, and then that's when we allow it to go through. So this is one example of the out-of-the-box integration or that we have with another Firebase product that allows you to deploy to production, scale in a secure and reliable way, and again, protect yourself from bad actors. On that note, there's other things that you need to do once you're also out in production, and simplifications that we've built to make your life as easy as possible. As we showed you before, there are many different Gemini models that you can have. Of course, when you deploy for the first time, you have your initial system prompt and your initial prompt telling it what to do. But once you've already deployed and launched your app, people have downloaded it in Google Play or the App Store, you still want to be able to control the different models, right? Perhaps you want one set of users to get access, maybe premium users to get access to premium inference-driven experiences, and perhaps free ones to get ones that are a little more cost-effective. Or if a new model comes out, you want to test it out, see if it's working well. You don't want to have to deploy or publish a new app version to the App Store, wait for everyone to download it just to get people using the thing. So essentially, we have another integration with Firebase Remote Config that allows you to remotely manage and configure the models, the prompts, and you can customize the experience for your users as you see fit, without needing to repackage and redeploy your application. So this is another, again, simplification that we've built on top of bridging together a bunch of products and concepts to make your lives as easy as possible as a developer. Okay, last one. We've talked a bit about multimodal input. When we think again about being a client-side developer and streaming multimodal input or uploading multimodal input to Gemini as a part of the user experience, sometimes it can be tricky to manage large files or large output. So we have integrations with storage, cloud storage, which essentially allows you to upload context, data, whatever it may be, to cloud storage, and then just include that cloud storage identifier for the file essentially as a part of your prompt. So you don't have to constantly upload it over and over again. You can park it in storage and then use it as a part of your inference workflow. Again, just another simplification we're providing here to try to help make your life as easy as possible as a developer. And this is a big one too. As a developer, deploying these types of AI experiences using Gemini, you want to be acutely aware of how much this is actually costing you. So we've built in the Firebase console usage and billing dashboard, which allows you to see just how much is being consumed and spent on these. So you just have full visibility and awareness into it. Of course, it's a very important thing as you're running a business.
Related to that, Andrew, I completely forgot just to show that we already have a new tool called AI monitoring inside of the Firebase console. This new tool is allow you to know exactly what is happening with the model. Basically, you can see here all the codes that I'm making in my app. So you can see the tokens, input tokens, the output token, but the most important is you can see the details. I can click here, I can see what is the information that was sent to the model and information that was received. Super important when you need to understand exactly what is happening underneath and also for optimize your model request. The billing plus the AI monitoring is the right tools to you, just to help you just to control exactly the cost and to know exactly and optimize the experience. With that, I think that we're done.
Yeah.
Cool. So 3 things. First one is Firebase AI Logic is GA, ready for production. So you can use it right now. We have a ton of applications, thousands of applications using right now in production. So just please play with that, and create your apps, and the only thing is, imagine that we didn't show today the live API are preview, and at some point this year it will be GA as well. Second thing is, all the things that you see today, they are already in the documentations, and we already have sample for everything. So go there, you will see the detail of the nuances, and there is a lot of code snippets. The last one is, we build this product with the community. We build this product with you in mind. So please don't hesitate to contact us and tell us what you are building, what you are interested to build, and how we can improve the product to make your life better. So this is the 3 things that I hope that you go back home.
Thank you.
Any questions? Over there.
Let's say I pay $20 a month for Gemini Pro. Is there a way that I can leverage that or like use that membership to for either Vertex AI or?
I think that the integration with the membership is still not done, right?
Yeah, I can help with that. So as far as I know, the Gemini Pro, Gemini Ultra, these types of things, those are more for consumers, whereas what we have is more for developers. So you can't necessarily use that subscription towards these developer APIs and tools. However, we have the developer API in Firebase AI Logic, so you don't need to put up a credit card, nothing. You can go and you can still get started for free. Depending on whether you've used Firebase and Google Cloud in the past, you may be eligible for a free trial as well, where basically you can get up to 300. You can get $300 of credits that are applicable to Firebase platform, Gemini API, Google Cloud, all these things, so that it gives you a little more breathing room or you can be a little more aggressive with testing things out. But yeah, unfortunately, as far as I know, the pro subscription, that's more for consumers, and that can't be applied here. But we have lots of programs and things available to help you get started is in a risk-free way.
Cool. Thank you. This is awesome stuff.
Thank you guys so much. In your demo, you were showing recommendations for the plans that you can upgrade to. How do you incorporate the specifics of that into your salary model?
In this case, I'm taking advantage of the context window because the context window is so huge that I don't need to implement any kind of a rack system, go to a database, know about information about my company, data policies. I just grab a small doc. The doc is about 3 or 4 pages, put in the context window, send to the model all at once. This is the thing I'm doing. In case I have a bigger policies, then we will implement something more sophisticated. But I will tell you that most of the cases, the context windows is good enough. You don't need just to make complicated rack system for implementing that. That's the way that I did it. I send in every prompt, I send the data about the plans, I send the user data, I send the system prompt, and the prompt itself.
Yeah, just to add to that and double down a bit on what Miguel said, there's so many times where we meet with developers and to start, they're really thinking about super complex things. Oh, we need a RAG system. We need all this stuff. And then for the most part, we're able to get them started just taking advantage of that context window. The out-of-the-box models are really powerful. They can do a lot. And especially when you're able to send the right context to it and tell it what to do in a smart way, most of the time it's going to be able to solve your problem. So, I would just recommend giving it a try. Just giving it a try. You'd be surprised what you're able to do. Yeah. Looks like we're good to go.
Thank you so much.